Welcome to Whispers from the Morgue. I am Dr. Moores, and today we uncover the mysterious killer that stalked the American frontier, a disease so elusive it required the earliest forms of forensic investigation to identify. This is milk sickness. In the early 19th century, as pioneers pushed westward into the Ohio River Valley, Indiana, Kentucky, and Illinois, they encountered a terrifying illness unlike any they had known before. It began with fatigue and weakness, followed by severe stomach pain. Then came the violent vomiting. Victims developed an intense thirst, but water only made the vomiting worse. A peculiar sweet smell emanated from their breath. Within days, the distinctive tremors began, giving the disease one of its many names, the trembles. As muscle twitching progressed to violent spasms, victims fell into a coma. Death often followed within 3 to 10 days of the first symptoms. In some frontier communities, mortality rates reached 50%. Entire families were wiped out. In certain areas, the disease claimed so many lives that settlements were abandoned entirely. This was a medical mystery that demanded a solution. Perhaps the most famous victim was Nancy Hanks Lincoln, mother of Abraham Lincoln. In 1818, when young Abraham was just 9 years old, his mother fell ill with the characteristic symptoms. According to historical accounts, Nancy suffered for about a week before succumbing to the disease. Young Abraham helped his father Thomas construct her coffin and witnessed her burial on the family farm in southern Indiana. Lincoln would later write of his mother, "All that I am or ever hope to be, I owe to my angel mother." The future president's life was forever shaped by this mysterious disease that robbed him of his mother at such a young age. What followed was one of America's first major forensic investigations. Frontier doctors, lacking modern tools, turned to careful observation and crude experimentation, the foundations of forensic science. These early medical detectives began by mapping outbreak patterns, a primitive form of epidemiology. They noticed something crucial. The disease followed geographical patterns rather than person-to-person transmission. Dr. Daniel Drake of Cincinnati meticulously documented clusters of deaths in the 1830s, noting they occurred primarily in specific river valleys and forested regions. His careful record-keeping revealed the disease was most prevalent where settlements bordered woodlands. Post-mortem examinations revealed distinctive pathological changes. Victims' livers showed fatty degeneration, and their intestinal tracts were severely inflamed. The distinctive sweet odor on the breath was present even after death, a critical forensic clue. Some physicians attempted crude toxicology by feeding suspected substances to test animals. They observed that dogs fed milk from sick cows developed identical symptoms, while those fed milk from healthy cows remained well, establishing the vector of transmission. The forensic breakthrough came when investigators noticed another pattern. The disease often affected families who owned milk cows, while their neighbors who purchased milk remained healthy. Dr. Thomas Barbie conducted what we would now recognize as controlled experiments. He fed milk from sick cows to dogs, who subsequently developed the same symptoms. He then fed suspected plants to healthy cows, a form of toxicological forensics that helped narrow down potential causes. These investigators documented that cattle sometimes developed similar symptoms: trembling, weakness, and refusal to eat, before humans in the same household fell ill. They called this condition the trembles in livestock, establishing a critical timeline in the forensic investigation. Dr. Anna Pierce Hobbs Bixby, a frontier physician in Illinois, employed what we would now call forensic botany. She understood that finding the plant responsible required both systematic observation and experimental verification. According to historical accounts, around 1834, Bixby consulted a Cherokee healer who identified white snakeroot as the milk poison. This represents an early case of ethnobotanical forensics, using indigenous knowledge as an investigative lead. Bixby then collected specimens of white snakeroot from areas with high incidence of milk sickness, documenting their location carefully, creating a primitive form of forensic sample collection. Her forensic methodology was remarkably modern. She formulated a hypothesis, designed an experiment to test it, documented her results, and established causation through repeated trials. She fed the plant to a calf, which developed trembles, confirming the toxic nature of the plant. What Bixby accomplished was remarkable. Identification of both the toxic agent and its pathway into the human body, all without modern laboratory equipment or even a basic understanding of toxicology. Modern forensic toxicology has since confirmed what these early investigators discovered. The white snakeroot plant contains trematol, a complex alcohol that is metabolized in the liver. Using gas chromatography and mass spectrometry, modern forensic scientists have traced exactly how the toxin transfers from plant to cow to milk to human. The toxin damages the liver, causing it to release stored carbohydrates all at once, leading to the signature symptoms. Histological examination of preserved tissue samples from suspected milk sickness victims confirms distinctive cellular damage patterns consistent with trematol poisoning. These forensic techniques have allowed modern scientists to definitively identify historical cases. Archaeological forensics at abandoned settlement sites has revealed population patterns consistent with sudden mass deaths rather than gradual abandonment, further confirming the devastating impact of milk sickness on frontier communities. This case represents one of the earliest successful applications of forensic investigation in American history. Without modern tools, these medical detectives used observation, experimentation, and documentation to solve a deadly mystery. The plant remains growing silently in the woods of the Midwest, a living memorial to thousands of pioneers who died mysterious deaths, and a testament to the power of forensic investigation to reveal hidden killers. Milk sickness shaped the American frontier as surely as any war or economic depression. The forensic methods developed to investigate it laid groundwork for future public health investigations. It stands as a reminder that sometimes the most effective forensic tools are careful observation and logical deduction, skills that remain essential in modern forensic science. Until next time, I am Dr. Moores, bringing you Whispers from the Morgue, where the dead still have stories to tell.